Welcome to another deep dive. We're really thrilled to have you with us today because
Mhm.
I want you to picture this scenario, right? It is 7 p.m. on a Tuesday.
Oh, a dangerous time.
Right. You are standing in front of an open refrigerator. You're looking at like a dozen ingredients, but you are just completely mentally exhausted.
Yep, we've all been there.
So you shut the door, you pull out your phone, and you just stare at a handful of these brightly colored squares on your home screen. And the question is, which one do you tap? I mean, getting dinner should be the simplest thing in the world.
It really should be.
But suddenly you are totally paralyzed by this matrix of, subscription tiers, delivery fees, dynamic pricing. It's a lot.
It feels like a minor daily crisis for a lot of people
Yeah.
because you are no longer just choosing between pizza or Thai food,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
You are navigating a highly optimized financial ecosystem,
Yeah.
and you're doing it while your stomach is actively growling, which doesn't help.
No, it really doesn't. That's the absolute definition of app fatigue. And it is exactly the reason we are diving into this today. We've got this extensive 2025 to 2026 update report, and it covers all the top food delivery platforms in the US.
It's a massive report.
It really is. So our mission today is to essentially cut through that noise for you. We want to decode this silent billion-dollar logistics war that's happening right there on your phone and, figure out how to actually navigate these platforms so they serve your lifestyle, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this, or actually scratch that. No ellipses. Okay, let's unpack this because the sheer scale of the money moving through these apps is frankly difficult to grasp.
That's staggering.
Right. According to the report, we are looking at a 53% industry increase just since 2020. And the U.S. food market is projected to grow by $183.4 billion between 2024 and 2029.
Yeah, and the domestic figures definitely paint a picture, but the global projections, they reveal the true macro trend here.
Oh, absolutely.
By 2027, the data shows that 1.6 billion people in Asia alone and 2.5 billion people globally are going to rely on meal deliveries.
2.5 billion. That's wild.
Right, so we have moved entirely past the novelty of, getting a burger delivered to your couch while you watch a movie. This represents the permanent restructuring of human consumer behavior and really urban logistics as a whole.
So to understand where that infrastructure is heading, we kind of need to look at the incumbents first, right?
Yeah.
The big guys fighting for that default spot on your home screen. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub.
The big three.
Yeah, the big three. But instead of just looking at the brands, this report breaks down their underlying strategic bets, which I found fascinating. Like, take DoorDash.
Right.
They hold massive market volume. They have access to over 110,000 menus across 1,200 cities. But their entire strategy, like their whole game plan, hinges on the Dash Pass subscription model.
Yeah, they're playing a very long game of customer lifetime value.
Exactly. And then you look at Uber Eats, their platform is it's heavily invested in granular data customization, so you can filter by incredibly specific dietary constraints or hyper-specific cuisine styles.
But there's a catch there.
Right. There's always a catch. They monetize that premium curation by charging some of the highest commission fees in the market. We're talking up to 30% in a lot of cases.
Yeah, up to 30%, which, and this is an often overlooked detail, includes fees on pickup orders.
Wait, really? Even if I go get it myself?
Yep. When you use the Uber Eats interface just to order ahead and grab a coffee yourself, the platform still takes a cut from the restaurant.
That is wow. I didn't realize that. And then you have Grubhub, which has sort of a different angle entirely.
Right. Grubhub pivots toward B2B corporate logistics.
Yeah, they lean hard into like office meal plans, massive footprints with over 50,000 eateries, and they even offer cash payment integrations, which is unique.
It is. It secures a different kind of recurring revenue stream for them. It completely bypasses the messy individual consumer wars that Uber and DoorDash are fighting.
So choosing between these three is, it's essentially like choosing a streaming service.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Right, because you aren't just picking an app, you're picking an ecosystem. You use DoorDash if you want the massive Netflix-style library, and you're willing to buy into that subscription lifestyle.
Where you feel financially obligated to use them just to lower your average delivery cost.
Exactly. You're like, I already paid for Dash Pass, I have to order tonight. And then you use Uber Eats when you are, I guess, willing to pay a premium for extreme customization and speed.
What's fascinating here is the behavioral engineering behind those choices.
Oh, for sure.
DashPass and Grubhub's loyalty tiers, they aren't just saving you money, they are creating a closed loop.
A closed loop, meaning what exactly?
Well, the sunk cost of a monthly subscription alters your purchasing habits. You literally stop checking competing apps for better prices because you want to extract the maximum value from that fee you already paid on the first of the month.
Right. You're locked in.
Exactly. And underneath that subscription, there is an entire secondary economy at play.
You mean the data harvesting?
Bingo. The apps are acting as massive data aggregators. Every single time you order, they analyze the time of day, your willingness to pay surge pricing when it's raining, your flavor profiles.
It's almost creepy how much they know.
It is. And they use those data points to optimize their algorithmic feeds.
Yeah.
That's how they determine which restaurants get premium visibility on your screen. You pay them for the logistics of moving a meal, but your behavioral data pays them in market intelligence.
Man, that dual revenue stream is actually the perfect bridge to where the industry is heading next because, as the report points out, once those incumbents saturated the dinner market, a new wave of platforms realized they had to specialize to survive.
You have to find a niche.
Right. If DoorDash is the digital food court, what happens when you need, like, a phone charger and a pint of ice cream at 2 a.m.?
That's a very different logistical problem.
Totally. So the report details this pivot into hyper-specialization. You've got Instacart pivoting heavily to groceries, delivery.com doing alcohol, and, strangely, dry cleaning, which comes with a perk of getting $100 off your first order and 0 app fees, by the way. But then there's GoPuff.
GoPuff. GoPuff is an excellent case study in alternative unit economics.
Yeah, break that down for us, because their model seems wild.
Well, they essentially act as the digital convenience store. They operate 24/7 in major markets, and they offer a catalog of, say, a couple thousand impulse items. But here is the kicker. Their delivery fees start as low as around $3.95, or even a flat $2 delivery fee in some cases.
And that is the part that demands an explanation.
Right.
Because how on earth does a company fulfill a physical order, send a human to my house for a flat $2 fee when Uber Eats is taking up to 30% of a massive restaurant tab?
It comes down to vertically integrated inventory versus a third-party marketplace.
Okay, so Uber Eats is the third party.
Exactly. Uber Eats and DoorDash are just middlemen. They connect you to an independent restaurant and an independent gig driver. But GoPuff operates its own dark stores.
Dark stores? Like warehouses?
Yeah, basically windowless micro warehouses strategically placed in really dense neighborhoods. They buy all that inventory wholesale, just like a regular grocery store, and they manage the fulfillment directly.
Oh, I see.
Because they capture the entire retail margin on that pint of ice cream, they don't actually need to charge you a massive premium on the delivery itself.
Oh, okay, that makes sense on paper. But I want to push back on this model for a moment.
Sure.
Because we have seen this exact playbook before with ride sharing.
Absolutely.
Venture capital money comes in. It subsidizes artificially low prices for years to acquire customers and just completely kill off the local competition.
Yep, starve them out.
Right. So if I start using GoPuff for all my midnight errands, and I have a separate app for my dry cleaning, and my groceries, first of all, hasn't the convenience of delivery been replaced by the stress of managing 10 different apps?
That is a very real form of app fatigue, yes.
And second, if they effectively put the local corner bodega out of business, aren't they just going to hike that $2 fee up to $10 once they capture the market? I mean, isn't this supposed convenience just a temporary illusion?
This raises an important question about the long-term sustainability of these platforms. You are touching on the absolute core tension of venture-backed logistics.
It just feels like a trap.
Well, the ultimate goal for these specialized apps isn't just to win your late-night snack order. The goal is to engineer the death of the errand entirely.
The death of the errand.
Well,
Wow.
if they can offer enough initial frictionless commerce, they permanently alter your geographic habits. They're betting millions of dollars that once you are conditioned to literally never leave your house for minor purchases, you will tolerate the inevitable price hikes down the line.
So it really is the ultimate convenience trap. We love the frictionless lifestyle, obviously, but the economic reality of these platforms is putting a massive squeeze on the actual physical businesses we rely on. Like we mentioned those 30% commission fees earlier. For an independent restaurant that's running on historically razor-thin margins anyway, that kind of platform tax is just devastating.
The margin crush is, without a doubt, the single biggest existential threat to traditional hospitality today. I mean, think about it. When a restaurant hands over a third of its gross revenue to a delivery app, they are very often operating at a net loss on that specific order.
So why do they even do it?
They essentially accept the loss as a marketing expense, a customer acquisition cost. They just hope the platform's visibility brings in enough sheer volume to make up for it.
Which is a tough way to survive, and that sets the stage for what the source material identifies as this sort of resistance movement within the app ecosystem.
Pushback.
Exactly. Platforms like Eat Street and ChowNow, they are attempting to totally rewrite the relationship between the restaurant and the tech.
Right.
Like Eat Street focuses on secondary markets, mostly Midwestern college towns, staying regional to offer lower baseline fees. But ChowNow takes a completely different structural approach.
A total game changer.
Yeah, instead of skimming a huge percentage off every single order, ChowNow charges restaurants a flat monthly software as a service subscription. I think the minimum starts around $139 a month. And they focus heavily on pickup while basically white labeling the restaurant's own interface.
And that flat fee model fundamentally changes the profit incentive. The restaurant actually gets to keep its margins as order volume scales up. But the most disruptive element of ChowNow's strategy isn't even the fee structure.
No.
No, it's the data architecture. They allow the restaurant to retain its own customer data.
Okay, I really want to highlight how critical that point is for you, the listener, because if you order from a platform like Postmates, they basically act like a digital landlord. They hold all the keys to the building.
Right.
To the restaurant, you are just this anonymous order ticket printing out in the kitchen. But ChowNow operates like a landlord that lets the tenant actually own the house they live in.
That's a great analogy. Because data is the true currency of the modern restaurant. Think about the implications of blind fulfillment. If you order a specific, yellow curry every Friday night through a major third-party app, the app's algorithm knows your exact habits.
Right, they know I love yellow curry.
But the restaurant itself has zero insight into who its best regulars are. And worse, the app can leverage your purchase history to serve you targeted ads for a competing Thai restaurant down the street that paid for premium placement.
Wait, so the platform literally uses your loyalty to one local restaurant to sell you to a competitor?
Exactly. It happens all the time. But when a restaurant uses a white-labeled system like ChowNow, they capture that first-party data. They learn your name, your email, your order frequency.
So they actually know who you are?
Yes. And this allows them to run their own marketing. They can send you a specialized discount to drive a Tuesday night visit and build a direct relationship. It gives the independent operator the exact same analytical tools that the tech giants use against them.
It gives them leverage, which is amazing. But of course, the massive incumbents are not just ignoring this pushback.
Not at all.
As these niche apps specialize and local platforms arm restaurants with their own data, the major players are using their immense capital to consolidate. Like DoorDash absorbing Caviar. That allowed them to capture the high-end premium dining market without having to build a brand from scratch.
Right, buying the audience.
And Uber essentially swallowing Postmates, which consolidated driver pools and eliminated a huge competitor. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
Buying the competition is just a defensive move. The 2025 to 2026 report outlines their offensive strategy, which is completely reinventing the physical act of food preparation through cloud kitchens.
Ah, yes. The transition from the physical dining room to the optimized fulfillment center. It's highly profitable right now.
Right. I mean, we all sort of know the basic concept of a cloud kitchen or a virtual kitchen, a delivery-only facility with zero storefront.
Just a kitchen in a warehouse somewhere.
Exactly. But the report dives into how these facilities are now deeply, deeply integrated with spatial data and social media algorithms. We are literally seeing platforms like TikTok and Instagram acting as the research and development arm for these virtual brands.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, you can really see the feedback loop in action here.
Yeah, how does that actually work?
Well, imagine a major delivery platform analyzes its search data and realizes a specific zip code has a massive volume of queries for, say, Nashville hot chicken. But there are very few local options.
Okay.
Simultaneously, a specific hot chicken recipe goes completely viral on TikTok.
Right, everyone's making it.
A cloud kitchen operator can ingest that data, lease a cooking station in some industrial park, spin up a completely virtual brand, complete with logos and packaging, and start fulfilling orders on the app within 48 hours.
48 hours. That is just, it is basically an API for hot food.
It really is.
There is no head chef agonizing over a menu for months. It is purely algorithmic gap filling in the local market.
And this is where the logistics war reaches its logical, somewhat sci-fi conclusion.
Oh, boy.
Because when you combine an industrial cloud kitchen that scales purely on predictive AI models And you couple that with the incoming wave of autonomous delivery vehicles and drones,
Which are definitely coming.
they are,
Yeah.
you effectively eliminate the traditional overhead of hospitality entirely. You remove the wait staff, you remove the prime real estate on Main Street, and you remove the human delivery driver.
It transforms the act of making dinner into just a pure, frictionless supply chain.
The cost efficiency is undeniable. I mean, the AI predicts the neighborhood demand, the windowless micro warehouse produces the food at scale, and the drone drops it at your door. But it strips away the entire cultural foundation of the restaurant industry.
Yeah, it really does. So, what does this all mean for you when you open your phone tonight? I mean, the main takeaway from this update report is that your choice of app is actually a choice of which infrastructure you want to fund.
That's a great way to look at it.
Right. Like, if you are ordering for a large group and your priority is just sheer speed and a massive library of options, you tap into the optimized ecosystems of DoorDash or Uber Eats.
Yep.
If it is 2 a.m. and you need household staples without a massive markup, you look to a micro-fulfillment model like GoPuff.
Exactly.
But if you have a favorite local neighborhood spot like the kind of place you genuinely want to see survive the next decade, you check to see if they utilize a platform like Chow Now. You bypass the digital landlord, so your money, and crucially your data, stays with the business itself.
Because every tap on that home screen is a micro vote for how local commerce should operate.
Totally.
And it leaves us with a rather profound thought to consider regarding this relentless drive toward efficiency.
Yeah, what's that?
Well, as we rush toward a future where AI flawlessly predicts exactly what we want to eat before we even open the app, and these cloud kitchens manufacture our meals in windowless industrial parks for drone delivery, will the traditional physical restaurant eventually become a rare, expensive luxury?
Wow.
I mean, in our demand for the ultimate frictionless convenience, are we accidentally coding the human connection completely out of the act of sharing a meal?
Man, that is a concept that will definitely stick with you the next time you are staring at those brightly colored squares, just trying to make a choice.
It's a lot to chew on.
Pun intended, right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope it brings a little more clarity to the logistics operating silently in your pocket. Think differently the next time you hit order. Until next time.